Many guys, as they get on in the years, have this problem where they just don't get hard anymore. And most of them, if they want to continue having sex, use drugs like Viagra. Well, I'm going to show you something here. For all those that are on Viagra, there may be other ways to get hard. This goes back to July 02, 2020, only months after the scamdemic. Man suffers 4-hour erection from blood clots due to coronavirus. So, what they're saying here, he suffers from this problem due to coronavirus. What that really sort of means is that, an example, if you have a blood nose and you die from a heart attack, the blood nose caused the heart attack. That's virtually what they're saying. As I read on, you'll see this person may have had so many different underlying health conditions and was tested positive for coronavirus. So, because he tested positive coronavirus and had all these other problems, it was coronavirus that caused this 4-hour erection from blood clots. And it's absurd. It's absurd. Let me just go through here. Authors of the case report are warning other health care professionals to look out for this rare complication. Before I start reading, let's just play this short video. I love the way it said there, unidentified. Unidentified, of course, it's going to be unidentified. Imagine putting your name out there and having to prove that this was actually real. BS-19 has reportedly caused some unusual side effects. The loss of taste and smell, COVID toes, skin rashes, but there are plenty of symptoms associated with coronavirus we're still learning about. Case in point, one man with a severe case of the virus. How do they know it's severe? This is 3 months in. How do they know it's severe? If you tested positive, you tested positive. There's no range of severity. He was sicker than others. Maybe he was sick from something else. Anyway, who ended up suffering from a 4-hour erection. My God, can you imagine the damage you can do in 4 hours? A 62-year-old man who has not been publicly identified is now the subject of a new case report published, blah, blah, blah. Experts are using his case to warn others that priapism, is that it? Priapism, a medical condition where the penis stays erect for longer than usual outside of sexual stimulation, is a potential side effect of the virus. Unbelievable. Yeah, one guy, with all these cases around the world, one guy gets this, and it's because of coronavirus, is it? According to the case, the man went to some hospital in Paris with complaints of having symptoms like a fever, dry cough, diarrhea, and generally feeling sick. Doctors gave him antibiotics. Maybe it's the antibiotics that did it. But he went back to the hospital 2 days later after he experienced shortness of breath. The man went into respiratory failure, had to be put on a ventilator, and was treated for acute respiratory distress syndrome. It goes on. The man had to be sedated and was unconscious when he was put on the ventilator. Afterward, doctors conducted a physical exam that discovered previously unidentified priapism in the absence of urinary catheterization. Oh, the man was also tested for BS-19 upon arrival. Of course, you want to test everyone for that, to the hospital, the results of which were positive. So you got to put the two and two together and say the BS-19 has caused this problem. While priapism can go away on its own, it can also be a medical emergency. I don't want to read too much of this. Goes on. Priapism isn't super common, but it happens enough. It happens enough. So if it happens, it happens. It doesn't happen because of someone having coronavirus, which we all have anyway. So if it occurs anyway, just because this guy tested positive, it doesn't mean that it's the coronavirus that caused this problem, but they'll make out it did, of course. The condition sent approximately 8,700 men to emergency rooms in the US over a 3-year period. So, man, one guy test positive, so they're going to say it was caused by BS-19. We won't go into it. You heard what they said. They applied a ice pack to his penis, but he still had an erection for 4 hours. Oh, my God. Like I said, can you imagine the damage you can do in 4 hours? All right, I won't read any more, but this is July the 2nd, 2020. Let's see what's happened just recently. Well, this is March the 8th, 2021. Now, 9 months later, from the Daily Fail, COVID infected, of course, COVID infected man, 69, suffers 3-hour erection after disease caused blood clot in his penis before killing him. So this guy wasn't as lucky as the other guy. It actually killed him. And it was because of the, COVID, of course. And unidentified, oh no, not unidentified again, 69-year-old from Miami suffered the painful condition. The patient first developed a cough, and he also experienced the shortness of breath. It says the doctors at Miami Hospital, I wish this shit would go away. He tested positive. The corona patient in the US suffered a painful 3-hour erection due to a rare complication of the disease. The unidentified 69-year-old from Ohio was diagnosed with a condition known medically as priapism while in hospital with a severe bout, once again, a severe bout of COVID last autumn. He was admitted to Miami Hospital in August with severe breathlessness and inflammation which had caused fluid to build up inside his lungs. The patient, who was obese, was sedated and put on a ventilator when his condition deteriorated and his lungs started to fail after 10 days of treatment. Medics placed him face down in the prone position for 12 hours as an emergency technique to help get air around his body. When he was turned onto his back late in the afternoon, nurses noticed he had developed an erection. Oh my God. So put him on his back. They noticed he had an erection. Oh, you're going to be kidding. So when he was face down, he couldn't develop the erection because, of course, he was laying face down. But when he turned up, the nurses noticed he had developed an erection. Oh, it's hilarious. Writing in the bullshit magazine, medics who treated him said they believe COVID had caused blood clots. They believe COVID caused. How the freaking hell would they know COVID caused blood clots? I mean, come on. What scientific evidence is there that COVID caused blood clots in his penis? Same shit, an ice pack was applied to the patient's penis to try to bring the swelling down, but the stiffness persisted for 3 hours. Not as lucky as the other guy. He was 1 hour less. The other guy was 4 hours. Doctors then had to drain the blood from his penis using a needle. Ouch. While the priapism did not return, the patient died in ICU when his lungs eventually failed. He died because of respiratory problems, not because of his bloody whatever the bloody word is, priapism. Oh my God, they've come up with some crap, don't they? They said the corpora cavernosa, so the chambers of tissue inside of his penis, were rigid, yet the tip was flaccid. The man was diagnosed with low flow priapism. When blood becomes trapped in the erection chambers, which is believed to have been caused by clots in his blood, because the patient was unconscious, he was unable to answer questions about how much pain he was suffering. So how do they know he was in pain? But the condition, which can cause permanent damage unless treated quickly, is known to become excruciating. Oh my God. The swelling subsided 30 minutes after penis had been drained, and the patient was put on a drip which included medication to prevent blood clots. So that was all fixed, but then he died. It was all fixed, but then he died. So why did he die? COVID has been found in many patients to damage blood vessels, causing dangerous blood clots. Really? Really? That happens all the time. Blood clots. Happens all the time. And just because you test positive to COVID doesn't mean it was caused by COVID, but that's what they keep pushing. While experts, the great word there, the experts are unsure why the virus causes the blockages. No, they've got no idea. No idea. See, they're saying up here, they think, just about positive that it was caused by the virus, but now they're saying they're unsure. They've got no idea, because there's no way known this virus that doesn't exist causes any blockages. The prevailing theory is that it is a result of an immune overreaction called a cytokine storm, which sees the body attack healthy tissue. Said it was interesting. He said he hadn't come across any BS-19 patients with priapism himself. Oh, see? But when we see one person, they say, oh, yeah, definitely BS-19 causes it. We haven't seen any cases of COVID-related priapism like this, and we have dealt with more COVID patients than any other European hospital, as far as I'm aware. So this is clearly a rare but explainable manifestation of COVID. It's explainable, and yet they say they've got no idea. In this patient, he had low flow priapism, which would certainly fit with, I don't want to go into all this crap. Blood clotting has been reported as a dangerous complication in up to a third of coronavirus infected patients. Maybe because a third of these BS-19 patients are all elderly, 80s, 90s, and that's what happens. They have blood clots. But they use this up to a third because they're all going to test positive anyway. When clots block arteries and veins, and blockages can trigger fatal heart attacks and strokes. That's what's happening. It's not the first time a COVID patient has suffered from. There we go. We go into the 62-year-old. They talk about him. So 2 people in 9 months. 2 people in 9 months out of 7 billion people. And it was because of COVID, was it? We've already seen what happens to him. Some clown intensive care doctor who treated this guy explained blood clotting was the likely cause. Likely. They wouldn't have a friggin' clue. What is priapism? It's a long-lasting painful erection which could cause permanent damage. Won't go into it. All right, that's it. So there's another way to die from COVID, having a stiffy for 3 hours. Oh, sorry, I just had to make this video.